What is up, YouTube? Hope you guys having a wonderful day. If, if I sound a little funny, it's because I woke up with a canker sore under my tongue, so bear with me. Excuse me. So I've realized that going to the gym, focusing on self improvement, has been nothing but a magnet to how people see me and perceive me as an individual. Right? It has been a curse and a blessing, but also at the same time, it made me so isolated to the point where I realized what was going on with my personal life and what was going to happen down the road in the future. And that was the fact that I started slowly becoming what most people would consider a narcissist, right? Or a narcissistic personality disorder. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be a toxic person to be a narcissist. There's healthy narcissism and then there's unhealthy narcissism. Unhealthy narcissism is essentially a person who is reacting off of insecurities. Like I was mentioning before on my previous videos, I was talking about how when I was a young individual, before my frontal lobe was fully developed, I was living in fear 24/7. So I was walking around with my insecurities in my head and assuming that everybody was out to get me. It was a mix of, trauma. I mean, a mix of trauma, a mix of uh, uncertainty, but most of it was fear. Because I was reacting off of fear, I was in fight or flight mode. So I was always ready to, like, as what they say nowadays, crash out. Present day, 26 years old, I realized that there's no reason to be in my head all the time. There's no reason to be thinking that I'm better than everybody. And there's no reason to assume that just because a person doesn't take care of their health doesn't mean they're a bad person. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have bad hygiene, that's very suspect. Like hygiene is like universal language amongst other humans. Whether you're in Asia, South America, Mexico, Canada, if you smell, nobody wants to be around you. Like it's just facts. Now, if you got bad teeth, black teeth, acne, just you just don't you don't look like, how do I put it? You just have like skin conditions that, out of your control most likely, but you smell good or you don't have no body odor. I mean, you'll be okay. You just won't get you won't get the same attention like somebody who don't have that skin condition, unfortunately. But I'm not picking on nobody. I have eczema, so I got like black dark spots on me. It's not a big deal. I kind of just like, you know after a while you just kind of get used to it. Like, how people try to use tattoos to cover their scars. My eczema spots are basically my tattoos, so I just kind of don't really think about it. I just live in the moment. But for the most part, um, being a narcissist is being a healthy narcissist is actually a very good thing because uh, let's just be honest. Like as a man, like nobody's here to save you. Everything is really on your own, and the weight is on your shoulders. Either either you want to live a comfortable, fulfilling life, or you're gonna stay disciplined and keep growing. Like a lot of men, I'd always assume that. Well, back in my days, I'd always assumed that if you didn't have no ambition or any point of trying to grow in life, whether it be like, losing weight, gaining muscle, changing your diet, not as complaining as much, or have a zero tolerance of complaining, I just assumed you were a weak individual. But that was just like, like my arrogance speaking to me. Because I soon realized that it didn't matter who I talked to. If we connected, we connected. They could like literally, you know, not they could literally have like the worst genetics, but if they speak my language, they speak my language, and in my language, it's just having a good conversation. But for the most part, there's nothing wrong with taking care of your health. There's nothing wrong with, you know, getting out your comfort zone. There's nothing wrong with taking time to make sure that, you're breathing in, you're breathing out. Like there's nothing wrong with any of that. I would say I'm a full believer in healthy narcissism. It's just that people confuse it with the unhealthy narcissism. When in reality, it's funny because the people who confuse it are usually the ones who are unhealthy narcissists. It's funny how that sounds, right? Because most people I know, well, majority of people on this earth are narcissists. Like you can't tell me that when a human body or a human mind or a human individual is near danger, he's not going to react. He or she is not going to react. So if you're not going to react, then what are you doing? Just like if you see that you could really change your life by just putting a little bit more effort, what exactly are you doing for yourself? But I'm not a motivational speaker. I just know that when I try to do things that I want to do, and when I take risk on getting outside my comfort zone, I tend to notice there's like a new version of me that has added an extra brick or added extra layer to my personality. And I'm not even trying to be funny. Like it's just the only way to understand is you just have to experience it. But it's all right. Most people just want to watch from the sidelines when you get to the finish line. But in the meantime, they're just watching you, and they would rather watch you than acknowledge the work that you put in the behind the scenes. And that's just how it is. So hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later.